Hello, America and the rest of the world. This is Jesus 2.3 talking at you. You're looking at the light now on your computer screen, and it's all in your memory. So, listen, I'm going to try and make this quick, but it's probably going to take the whole 10 minutes, because that's what YouTube gives me a limit. And I got a problem with Bob, and not Bob Dylan, but Bob at the morning call. And, well, you know, the morning call is the most important prayer in Islam, and I've recited the Shahada. I mean, it just should be no coincidence how God's will works. Strange and mysterious, isn't it? So anyway, the morning call is located close to Bethlehem. And I've discussed this with a Palestinian, a friend of mine, and he understands what the problem is. Not with Bob Dylan, but Bob over at the morning call. Dylan and this other Bob, well, they're both chosen ones. Bob was chosen to sing to us. This other guy, he's been chosen to limit my free speech. At least that's what he thinks. But here I am, speaking freely. Anyway, I've submitted many columns. This is the last one. I'm going to read it to you real quick. And this is the one that we're commenting on, and then I'll read the first one. It says, the trouble with America is the trouble with Will. Will is a friend and co-worker of mine. We're both sharp people just trying to survive. We both use our free will to accomplish this, but we have different ideas on what it means to survive. Nevertheless, we both do survive, and we are both happy with our choices in this life. Life goes on for all of you, regardless of what Will and I do with our individual lives. One could even say that God's will be done, regardless of what Will and I do in this world. Each and every one of us uses our free will to make choices in this life. We make those choices based on what we need, what we want, and what we desire. How we define our needs, wants, and desires depends on if you have a stronger will to survive than your desire to do God's will. If you have no idea of what God's will is, then you will strive to survive at any cost. Your will to survive has won out. In reality, God's will always gets done. You can hope all you want, but that will never change. Regardless of what type of person you are, our needs are primarily the same. We need food for nourishment and shelter to protect us from the elements. Nothing more and nothing less. The rest of life is filled with wants and desires. I will not discuss our wants and desires at this moment. I have chosen to discuss our needs in this epistle. Our wants and desires can come later. In reality, our needs must be met before we can continue on to our wants and desires. Will needs the same thing I need. We both work for Sharp Corporation, but have different jobs. Will is a material handler. I am a jack of all trades. He shuffles drugs around all day long, while I maintain the facilities. Neither of us makes the drugs, and we are not pill poppers. You see, Sharp is a pharmaceutical packager. We are in the chain that links us to the drug makers and the pill poppers. We are neither of those, but we like to party and have been known to use substances that help us party. In reality, I am telling you the truth. Do you understand? Will uses his free will to party more often than I do. He will take a day off from work from time to time. Good for him. He is a young man, and I'm an old fart. America was a young country at one time, and now it is old. The question to ask yourself, did we go older and wiser, or did we grow into grumpy old men and frumpy old women? In reality, God's will gets done regardless of what you think. And mankind will survive whether we leave it wisdom or something to think about. I know what it takes to survive. I have a strong will to survive. I have used my free will all of my life to do so. From the moment I turned 18 years old, I have voted libertarian and have never stopped. The world has not come to an end, and I have peace of mind because I've always been honest and responsible. I've done my best to survive, and have been rewarded with a wife who is the love of my life, and 2 wonderful daughters who have grown to be responsible adults. What more could a man want in this life? Does it matter if you believe this happened because of my dumb luck or because of God's will? I think not. I'm still happy just the same. I need nothing more in this life. In reality, I have more though. The truth is that we all have more. We have used our free will to acquire the things we want and desire. Some things we do for ourselves, and other things we rely on others. I will close for now, but God willing, I will be able to follow up with more later. I have a party to prepare for. Now that party was actually the party we had on Sunday. If you've been watching the videos, there was an invite. One man did go to my blog and screamed and he said just some things that why wasn't anybody at the stadium to direct him to my house. But I just said, please, you didn't follow directions. Directions are very simple if you know the meaning of the words. And anyway, speaking of meaning of words, I sent that to the morning call. I sent that to Bob. And I sent that to Teresa. I won't give you their last names. I'll keep that private. I did talk to a white guy at that morning call. He just passed the buck. And to be quite honest with you, I rang Bob up because he had Teresa contact me. So, I don't know why. He's the one who pulls all the strings over there. And wait a minute, maybe she rang his bell before I rang him on the phone. I don't know. Who knows? Pure speculation, friends. Anyway, Teresa sent me this email, but I know it's Bob. And it talked about my letter wasn't focused. So, and she said, I didn't do my research, and they need personal knowledge and experience for these things. You've got to be kidding. First things first, I researched the word focused. It's a point at which rays of light or other radiation converge, or from which they appear to diverge. Goes on to say the distinctness or clarity of an image rendered by an optical system. Like your eyes. A center of interest or activity. Shit. I'll be honest with you, I think my letter talked about that. My guest article. A condition in which something can be clearly apprehended or perceived. Sure, I was talking about free will to survive, and God's will. I was talking about the word will, and my friend will. Come on, it's pretty self-explanatory. Looks like I'm going to have to close here. My 10 minutes are almost up. But she went on to say, my guest column is quite focused on the plight of America, and I'm saying this, and our will to cooperate in a peaceful manner. I'm sorry if you don't see this, but open your eyes to the light. Look up the definition of focused again. Okay, it's all personal knowledge and experience. I have then applied the research, and in reality, can tell you every word is the truth. Have I made myself clear? Jesus 2.3, signing off. You all have a nice, wonderful day, and those celebrating, Assalamu alaikum, and have a good, productive Ramadan. I'm reading the Quran, beginning to end for the first time. Inshallah. Excuse me if I made that mistake. Inshallah.